Good evening, everyone. Day 2 of Arch Madness is now complete. I'm Eli Willenhouse. This is Mike Ursery, John Robinson, and Bart Anders. And we're going to quickly recap the games and have an outlook on what tomorrow will look like in Day 3. We'll start it off with you, Mike. What happened in that first game, and what do we have to look forward to with Wichita State tomorrow?
That first game of the day, Wichita State and Southern Illinois. Now, for the first 10 minutes of that game, you couldn't help but think that Southern Illinois was inspired, they were motivated. They kind of tricked themselves into thinking that they could hang with Wichita and possibly upset them. But at the end of the day, Wichita, even though they didn't dominate, didn't play great, they still showed SIU for what they really were, delusional. Now, tomorrow, Wichita State plays against Illinois State. Those teams have already met twice. Even though Wichita won them both, Illinois State played them very closely. First game was at Koch Arena in Wichita. Shockers won by 8. The second game in Normal, Redbirds lost by only 6. They played very well against Wichita. They just have not gotten over that hump. Now, for Wichita, of course, the three-headed monster, Ron Baker, Fred Van Vliet, and Tikel Cotton. And then for Illinois State, their guards, Deshaun Knight, Harris Lee, and their big man underneath, Reggie Lynch. Should be a very, very good matchup again tomorrow.
And what did Illinois State demonstrate today against Evansville?
Well, in the game that got them there was a rematch of Saturday's game, which went to overtime in Evansville, and the Redbirds won, and it looked like it might go Evansville way this time. It started off pretty hot for them. They had a lot of energy in the first half, but a twisted ankle by DJ Ballantyne before the first half kind of slowed the team down. And then after Deontay Hawkins' jumper and 60 minutes left in the second half, Evansville never got the score back, and it looked like it'd be another overtime game at the end, but like Mike said, the Redbirds prevailed, and they'll face the Shockers tomorrow.
In the second slate of games, John, you covered Northern Iowa and Bradley. Bradley, of course, upset Drake yesterday. What did they do against Northern Iowa?
Well, it was a lot like the situation that Mike had with Wichita State and Southern Illinois. For a lot of the first half, Bradley was in it. They were at 45% shooting, and they had contained Seth Tuttle. Offensively, at least, he was doing great in the rebounds, but point-wise, he only had 1 point in the first half, and that came from a free throw. He had more turnovers than points in the first half. But in the second half, everything just kind of went how you would expect it against the number 10 team in the conference going up against the number 10 team in the nation. You and I really didn't have a problem in the second half, but going up against Loyola tonight, Coach Ben Jacobson of UNI had nothing but good things to say about the Ramblers, saying that this is a players' league, a coaches' league, and that Loyola has some of the best players and coaches. He said they're really underrated and they got to watch out tomorrow, and I tend to agree with Coach Jacobson.
Yeah, something people didn't expect was the 60 Loyola Ramblers to steamroll the number 3 Indiana State Sycamores. Indiana State missed their first 18 three-pointers. They made 5 in a row after that late in the second half, but at that point it didn't matter. Loyola was up by 30 and ended up cruising. Last year the 6th seed was SIU, and they actually upset Northern Iowa. So the 6th seed, I guess, feels pretty comfortable here at Arch Madness. So a lot to look forward to tomorrow. We'll have more videos, we'll have more stories, we'll have more pictures. We'll have it all for you, ladies and gentlemen. So this is good night from Scottrade Center in St. Louis, Missouri.